Hi everyone, hi every spirit, Daria here. I wish you are enjoying your day. I wish you are enjoying whatever you are doing. And today I'm bringing you another video of how to calibrate your spaceship. This time we are going to be talking about Virgos, Virgo Sun in specific. So if you want to apply to the moon energy, if you have moon in Virgo or something like that, you can apply that instead of what you pay attention to the sun, what you pay attention to, what you want, what you want people to see you as, how you see yourself and things like that. You apply it to the moon, which is receiving, which is what you manifest into your life, what you need, what you care for, what you attract, and things of that nature. Okay, so right now we are going to be talking about how to balance your spaceship as a Virgo Sun. So Virgo Sun in general is mutable earth, being able to adapt to your own and other ways, other people's ways, to make sense, be practical, and create routine and pattern, structure, stability, sense of ground, sense of stability, making sense, and all of those things. So you by nature, just by you having this spaceship of Virgo Sun, you like to pay attention to yours and other people's ways to make sense, to organize, to create some form of routine and pattern around things. And Virgo in general is a area of the sixth house, which involves your health, your routines, your patterns, because whatever you are in a routine and pattern will develop also in your health, your mental state, your but in this case your health, how your body functions, how your mind functions, how you go about things, because we know that the more you spend when you spend time into something, it becomes natural to you, it becomes something that you even you get attracted more towards, because you spend so much time into there. That's something familiar to you, it becomes familiar. And that's a little here a little example is how you create your sun, how you create your moon, how you create your placements, is by you as a spirit spending time in that area with your mind. So those are the areas where you create the most light, the most spark. So by having Virgo Sun, you like to pay attention and see yourself and want others to see you as organized, as making sense, as being able to make sense of the world and other people's ways to make sense. That's why sometimes Virgos are known for being control freaks, or organizing freaks, because many times they may find way more details that point to a person being disorganized or being unhealthy in some way. Many times that being a Virgo's way to pay, that's a Virgo way to entertain someone, the sun, right? That's a Virgo way to that's how they see the world. That's they analyze other people's ways to make sense of the world. They analyze how they make sense of the world, and they correlate those things so they can make the world a better place, as in a sense of how they see that things should be organized. Many times it might not even be true. Many times it might not even be the right thing to do, even if it makes sense, even if it works. It might not be the best thing to do. And Virgos sometimes get too lost into details. Virgos sometimes get too freaky. They start to think too much. They start to get lost into whatever makes sense for them, or whatever routine and pattern they set themselves to do. And when they don't do it, they might get too worried. They might get, so that's the Virgo energy when you are a bit discalibrated, when you are going too much into that Virgo energy. You may start to become too much of a control freak with yourself, and by default with everybody else that you are expressing yourself to. So how do you balance this Virgo energy? How do you balance your expression, what you pay attention to, so you can unclutter all that garbage? and clutter all those unnecessary thoughts and unnecessary clutters and baggages that you think make sense for you to keep there, while it might be restraining you in some way, it might be distracting you in some way from achieving your goals and achieving what you really want, what you really want to strive in the world. So in this sense, you go to the opposite sign, to the 180-degree most furthest area of your chart, to understand better and to see yourself from a more expanded perspective, from a more distant perspective, so you can see yourself from afar, you can see yourself from other people's perspectives when they might be opposing you, when you might be, not understanding why you are thinking certain things, why you are accumulating certain thoughts, why you are accumulating certain feelings. You go to the Pisces area where you have Pisces in, right? So that would be the 180 degrees from your Virgo sun, or whatever Virgo placement we might be talking about here, you might be associating here, and you go to wherever you have your Pisces area, wherever you have your Pisces constellation in, would be the area where you would, instead of you paying so much attention to the Virgo side of things, what you usually pay attention to, what you usually, are always in, you go to the other side, to the opposite side of whatever you are paying attention to, and complement yourself with some dreams, imaginations, because what is Pisces is mutable water, is being able to adapt to your own and other people's ways to feel, to connect, to receive, to, put waters flowing, create your environment and things of that nature, because we all have these energies in our charts, right? And just by you going into that area, you are giving yourself space, that chakra, that mind, to breathe, and you as a spirit are able to move to a complementary, to a different area where you can relax, where you can dream, where you can imagine, where you can understand other people's emotional perspective on something, instead of always looking for the sense of stability and whatever makes sense is the way to go, while you may not have your own dreams developed, your own ways to relate your emotions with others, your own way to have others' emotions related to you. So this is a good energy for you to just balance a bit that freakiness, that detailistic way to look at the world, and go more into your internal aspects and be able to expand, because that's Pisces is ruled by Jupiter and co-ruled by Neptune, right? Jupiter expansion, gaining wisdom, knowledge from the travels that you go through, from the things that you do, from the people that you talk with and express yourself to. And Neptune would be your dreams, your imaginations, your far out perspectives, your far out clouds that you create. And this is the one of the great elders, which involves you being able to trust in all possibilities and move with hope. So Pisces is a lot about hope, but make sure that you don't get too lost into that area either, because Virgo, I know Virgo Sun, Pisces Moon, that they go always to their faith to justify whatever they are doing, and their faith is not even something that they created for themselves. It was something presented to them by a church, a religion, some form of outside way to look at your internal world, and that's the wrong way to go about your faith or whatever you have faith in, because when you go into somebody else's way to change your own mind, change your own ways to go about the world, or even interpret your own world, that's already you getting lost in someone else's mind. So you by default are not using your own mind. And Virgos may get lost too much into okay, this makes sense, you know, this works, there is people doing it and receiving money and things like that, that may blind you, because faith has nothing to do with let's say what works or whatever you may see that works. It only is the right way when it works for you, when it is right for you, at the right times for you, and there will be nothing that other people will tell you otherwise, because you made up your own mind. Okay, so Virgos, don't go too much into the Pisces energy. Make sure that you are using the Pisces energy to get yourself clear, to get in contact with your own emotions and feelings, and go back into expressing yourself now in a more lighter way, now in a more faithful way in yourself, so you are not so skeptical. Skepticism is good. Anything of this 360 is good, you know. Anything can be bad depending on whatever and how much time you spend in it, because if you go too deep into any area, it will already fuck up your plans, because you are focusing only on one piece of the cake, while there is the whole 360 of events going on around you, and you might be seeing only one thing, while a lot of things around you attacking you, or, you know, letting you know about something. And Virgos can go too much into the details and may go too much into one perspective, one perception of the world. And by you going into the Pisces area, you are able to expand your horizons, you are able to dream, you are able to understand better your inner workings, how you yourself work emotionally speaking, and how you yourself expand, and are able to share that wisdom and knowledge with yourself and others, and extract wisdom and knowledge from whatever experiences you are going to, and actually contain the right feelings and emotions about whatever you are doing. So that will help you already broaden your horizons and look at many aspects of yourself that you may have been ignoring, may have been you know, taking for granted. Maybe you have been using it too much, and now you are able to manage, because Virgo is all about managing, you know. And when you get too lost into Virgo, you may get too many times you may get to doing a lot of things at the same time, which is a good trait when you know how to apply that energy efficiently. And Virgo is a lot about efficiency. Okay, so for you to calibrate better the Virgo energy, for you to get a bit more of a breath, you go into the Pisces area and you expand on whatever wisdom and knowledge you gain from your travels, from whatever you are doing, from whatever internally and externally you are relating with, emotionally speaking, and go back to that Virgo energy and give yourself the right intention behind whatever you are doing, and make sure that it's something from really yours, you know, that it's not something that somebody else persuaded you to do, and it wasn't even aligned with your own purpose, or it wasn't even aligned with whatever you you know, set yourself to do. So that is one way that you can balance your Virgo energies. And the second one is planetary balance, which is Mercury, right? You as a Virgo sun, by you having Virgo sun, you are the feminine side of Mercury, while Gemini being the masculine side of Mercury, right? So just by just by you having Virgo, just by you having the sun in the internal side of Mercury. You like to express, you like to communicate, you like to be seen as communicative, but in a more internal perspective, being that of you know how to think for yourself, you know how to organize, you know how to structure your internal world, and you know how to receive whatever you see in the world that makes sense and apply it to your own purpose, apply it to your own you know, doings at whatever you want to do. And by you for you to balance that aspect of Mercury and be able to analyze things in a more efficient way, would be you going into the Gemini area, which is a square, is by default you learning how to be more light about how you express yourself, be more light about what you think and communicate about, be more light and more vague about you know, how you make your thoughts come across and things of that nature, because Gemini is all about mutable air, being able to adapt to your own and other people's ways to think and communicate and make sense of the world. So instead of you absorbing so much of the outside world and, you know, configuring your own world based on whatever you thought was worthy of that, you know, of you absorbing that. What was my point here was that with Gemini you can use your energy more to communicate what you pay attention to, and be more let's say be more relatable in how you communicate. Instead of you being so dry, you can be a bit more cold, for example, because dryness is all about earth, right? And coldness is more about air. So you have you can be more cold to how you communicate, how you express yourself, instead of being so dry, like, damn, I don't even know what to say here. Somebody else reacting to whatever you said, or whatever, like criticism, or your house is you know, you say like your house is stinky as fuck, clean this, you start to clean all this all the floor and all that shit, and some people might be like, shit, I feel even uncomfortable like bringing them to my house because I thought everything was clean and now they are cleaning the floor. I mopped it up the whole day yesterday and today they are cleaning it, and it might not be it's more of a dry nature. People don't even know how to react to that sometimes. And by you going more into the Gemini to balance your internal natures of Mercury, you can be you have to learn how to communicate more, how to be more expressive and communicative in general about anything, about whatever goes on in your mind, just to clear your space out and to be able to utilize that Mercury aspect that you have with your expression in a more positive way for you and the people that are around you. Okay, you might, instead of starting to clean you know, the floor in this little example, you might start to just, you make a joke about it. You know, Gemini is all about like making jokes, be able to roast someone, be able to like I don't know, be more lighthearted, make people laugh even if it's the truth. You say it coldly, right? Say it coldly, boldly, but it's funny, it's light. So that's something that Virgos, when you learn it, you become the, let's say, the trickster. You are able to do a lot of things. You are able to have a multifaceted way to go about your routines and patterns and health and all that shit, with a more lighter tone as well to it. So you are able to clean the things that are around you, instead of you being so you know, internal about your communication, about your analysis. You can go a bit more external, communicated, but make sure you are not going too far into that learning process. But just by you going through that learning process is already you upgrading your spaceship for it to have 4 wings instead of 2, for example. So I wish this was helpful, I wish this was fun, and I will see you all very soon. Miss Daria is surfing out, and make sure to check out my description down below to see my LinkTree. I have my platforms all down there, as well as Esotericcloudsurfer's LinkTree, which is my beautiful partner, and he's on Twitch channel, he's on YouTube channels, and he also talks about some esoteric and some astrological shit. I will see you all very soon. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!